I've been playing 6 years and profitable, and still massively struggle with bankroll management and even really building a bankroll. Well, I mean, if you've been profitable over 6 years, like you're part of like the top like 5%, top 2% of all DFS players. So I mean, that's an accomplishment in and of itself. I mean, most people lose lifetime at this game, but 90+% of people are losers lifetime. But as far as bankroll management is that you have to match the risk with the edge. Okay? Now you need a large sample size to determine whether or not like you have an edge in this game. And then you also have to determine what the variance is in certain contests. Okay? So like double ups, head to heads, like there's going to be lower variance because, you know, if you have an edge, you're going to win 60% of the time, 62% of the time. If you're elite, 65% of the time. So you're still going to lose like 40% of the time around if you have an edge. Now in GPPs, if you're playing large field stuff versus small field stuff, maybe you catch a little bit more often. Maybe you come in the top 5 spots a little bit more often. But your edge may be actually small because you're playing against a lot of other sharper players. But in the large field contests, a lot of times you go down to the bottom 20% of those contests, you'll see lineups that you're just amazed how people put it together. It's almost as like people just took their heads, banged them against the keyboard, and whatever players came out, or, you know, they kind of like butt dialed their lineup on their phone. So there's a lot of edge in those contests, but it's very hard to win those, right? It's very hard to realize your EV. You can build great lineups over and over and over again, come close, not get there, and it may take you a long time to realize your EV in one shot, which is basically winning the thing. So you may have an immense amount of edge, but without proper bankroll management, you'll never survive to actually realize it. If you're playing 20% of your bankroll in large field GPPs every day, like you're more likely to go broke unless you have an edge that is unheard of in DFS, which there is none. Your risk of ruin is going to be extremely high.